2024. First, the highlights. Governor Sanwo-Olu recommits to strengthening Lagos State workforce and ensure more robust public service as workers celebrate May Day. President Tinubu unveils a cotton factory in Ogun State. And the France and Russia launches a deadly drone attack on Ukrainian city of Odessa. And Sport English Football Association bars transgender women from women's football. Now the details. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Workers in Lagos State have joined others across the world to mark the 2025 International Workers' Day with the theme, Reclaiming the Civic Space in Midst of Economic Hardship. Speaking at the event held at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Onikon, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who adopted all the requests brought forward by labor unions, recommitted to strengthening its workforce and ensuring a more robust public service, with a promise to ensure next year's May Day celebration will be held at the rehabilitated National Stadium in Surulere.
I want to thank you all. We are happy that we have been able to successfully host the 2025 May Day rally here in Lagos. We'll continue to lead, and work with you and ensure that the real dividends of democracy that is happening at Abuja, to make sure that it comes to all of our states and Lagos in particular. Don't mind the rain. It is God that has come to bless us.
The State Commissioner for Establishment and Training, Afolabi Ayotayo, and the Head of Service, Bode Aguru, both commended workers in the state and reeled out the various initiatives and interventions of the Sanwo-Olu administration to improve staff welfare and provide a conducive environment for them to operate. The chairman, Nigeria Labour Congress, Fumilayo Shisi, who commended the state government for prioritizing security and welfare of workers, payment of 85,000 naira, new minimum wage, and a consequential adjustment, urged the Sanwo-Olu administration to consider workers in other agencies and parastatals in the implementation of the minimum wage to ease their economic plight.
We will continue to collaborate with Mr. Governor and the government to address the need of our members. And we thank you, sir, Mr. Sanwo-Olu, for always operating an open door policy and giving us a listening ear.
We appreciate the effort of the state at caring for the workers of Lagos and looking after the welfare of the people that are the wheels of progress of the state. We commend the state government for its visible strides in infrastructure, especially the completion of the red and blue rail lines.
While commending workers in the state for their doggedness and resilience, the Chairman Trade Union Congress TUC Lagos State Chapter Gbenga Kundayo urged the federal government to give Lagos special status and more allocation because its teeming population to deliver more infrastructure to residents as he enjoined Lagosians to pay their taxes promptly. Our correspondent Adeola Akinele reports that the workers defied the rain to observe a march past as different labor unions in the state wore customized T-shirts with cap as well as Ankara of different colors. The Lagos State government has announced plans to launch water taxi before the end of this year, as dredging is already underway on key route to prepare for full-scale operations across the state inland waterways. The managing director of the Lagos State Ferry Services, Lag Ferry Ladi Balogun, made this known at a news conference tagged Waterways Experience with the media held at the Falomo Jetty on the MV Adimorisha badge. Balogun said the initiative, which is set to relieve residents along the Lekki-Ekpe corridor of traffic, is in line with the State Themes Plus agenda, which prioritizes sustainable transportation, infrastructure development, and reduction of carbon emissions.
All the way from Lekki, Aja, Awuyaya, Ibetu-Lekki, Sangotedo, Victoria Island, Ikoyi, down to Eko Atlantic City. You can actually take a ride on our water taxi without coming on the road. This introduction of the water taxi has gotten the approval of Mr. Governor, and we have the regulatory approval from LASWA and of course the NEWA. We want to give it to our people to experience what they used to experience when they are abroad. We want to tell them that this is doable and it can be done in Lagos as well.
While reeling out some of his agency's achievement, the Lag Ferry Bus said the state aims to maximize its water resources in light of the mountain pressure on its road infrastructure, while acknowledging that safety concerns remain a major reason why many commuters hesitate to embrace water transportation. Also speaking, the General Manager, Lagos State Waterways Authority, LASWA, Damilola Emmanuel, who was represented by Ibrahim Famuyiwa, maintained that safety protocols will continue to be adhered to boost public confidence, helping passengers feel more at ease once on board the ferries, noting that over 3 million passengers have been transported across Lagos waterways in the last 5 years.
A lot has been done in the area of commuter services, in the area of charter services, in the area of even boosting tourism on the Lagos inland waterways. And we are not resting on our oars, like we have said. We are looking at the future, and the future is more sustainable, more resilient, and as a matter of fact, the future is electrified.
And since the commencement of the Sanwo-Olu administration, the state's boat fleet has increased from 4 to almost 30, with 50 jetties built across the state. In a continued effort to enforce traffic laws in the metropolis, the Lagos State Task Force has launched a comprehensive operation targeting recalcitrant motorcycle operators who persist in violating the ban on certain routes, highways and bridges across the state. This exercise, which has been reinforced across various parts of the state, has led to the impounding of 139 motorcycles within a short time. Chairman of the Lagos State Task Force, Aditayo Akirili, said the latest enforcement operations were carried out in key areas such as Alakija, Yanuiba, Aboliadu, Agric Bus Stop and Ojo Barak areas, where Okada operators were found blatantly flouting the state's traffic regulations. Akirili reiterated the state's government's commitment to ensuring the safety and security of all residents as spelled out in the Themes Bus agenda. He urged Okada operators to adhere strictly to the laws governing their operations and also called on members of the public to cooperate with the law enforcement officers by reporting violations and desist from patronizing Okada operators for their safety. The chairman assured that the Lagos State Task Force will continue to patrol and enforce activities across the state, particularly in the areas that are prone to illegal Okada operations. Now to the rest of the stories. Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun says that President Bola Tinubu will perform the groundbreaking for the establishment of the biggest cotton and polyester processing factory in the world at the Special Agro Processing Zone located at the Gateway International Airport, Iperu, Ilishon area of the state. Speaking while receiving the former Accountant General of the Federation, Oluwatoyin Madin, and the members of the Peru Development Association in his office at Okemoson, Abeokuta, Governor Abiodun said the factory, which is under the Renewed Hope Cotton Resurgence Initiative, will hit on 400 hectares of land, creating employment for about 250,000 people daily. He said that apart from the cotton industry, the Nigerian Air Force has also indicated interest in siting a base in the town to secure not only the airport, but also to provide adequate security to Iperu and the adjoining towns. Explaining the rationale behind the siting of the airport at Iperu, Abiodun noted that the town is at the central point of the state, which could be easily accessible from any part of the state, adding that 100 housing units built by his administration at the airport housing estate will soon be inaugurated. The Nigerian Labour Congress Katsina State Chapter has called for the immediate implementation of the full minimum wage across all sectors of government. The chairman of the union, Hussaini Hamisu, met the demand in his speech during the 2025 Workers' Day celebration in Katsina State. Hamisu also urged the federal government to address the insecurity affecting the state. Governor Diko Rada responded to the labor's demand on minimum wage implementation, stating that he has approved the local government minimum wage since last month, but he does not know what is delaying the implementation. In foreign news now, Russian drones have killed at least 2 people and injured another 5 in a sustained attack on the Ukrainian city of Odessa. The regional leader, Oleg Kiper, said residential high-rise buildings, a supermarket and school were damaged. The attack comes shortly after Ukraine signed a natural resources deal with the U.S. and precedes a temporary ceasefire starting on May 8. Russia has not yet commented on the attack, but a Russia-appointed official, Vladimir Sildo, said 7 people were killed in a Ukrainian drone attack in an occupied town in the southern region of Kherson, while a crowded market was also attacked in Oleski. Odessa is a strategically important port city on the Black Sea, has a population of around 1 million people. It has come under repeated attacks since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. In sport now, England's Football Association has announced that transgender women will no longer be able to play in women's football in England from June 1. It amended its rules on April 11, applying stricter eligibility criteria for transgender women to continue playing in women's football at all levels, following the UK Supreme Court's ruling on April 15 that the legal definition of a woman is based on biological sex. The FA has scrapped that policy and says only those born biologically female will be permitted to play. The Scottish FA is also set to follow the FA ruling by banning transgender women from women's football in Scotland. And that's it on the news at 4. But just before we go, slow down at road junctions, intersections, and pedestrian crossings. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration introduced the Lagos Economic Acceleration Program, LEAP, to reduce the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic on small businesses? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has pledged to strengthen the state workforce and ensure a more robust public service as workers in Lagos joined others across the world to mark the 2025 International Workers' Day, with the theme reclaiming the civic space in midst of economic hardship. Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun has announced that President Bola Tinubu would perform the groundbreaking for the establishment of the biggest cotton and polyester processing factory in the world at the Special Agro-Processing Zone located at the Gateway International Airport, Iperu, Ilishan area of the state. We also told you that Russian drones have killed at least 2 people and injured another 5 in a sustained attack on the Ukrainian city of Odessa. Finally, in sport, England's Football Association has banned transgender women from participating in women's football in England from June 1. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Coyote Mafalashiri. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon.